Hey, back again to make more soap. Today I'm going to make happy soap for all the grumpy people in the world. Okay, now I have an idea. I want to go for this style again. So this is Tawanda. Look at the beautiful colour. This is Tawanda that I made the other week, and I want to go for this kind of style again, but using these two colours. So when all my soaps are lined up for spring, I mean, look, you see what I mean? Lovely springtime vibes for the lovely springtime that is coming very soon. We're on the cusp of it now as all the bulbs are coming up, and I just want to get this. When I see all my soaps on the shelves in the curing room at the back, I want to see all pastels and beautiful colours. So I don't want vibrant. I want to get like a nice pale orange and a nice pale pink to be very similar to the way that this looks. So we're going to use Clinique Dupe Happy. This one smells like, okay, it smells like you would imagine a Clinique girl like on the counter to smell. You know, they have that very clean, very clinical vibe going on, don't they, at Clinique? It's like every time I go to the Clinique counter, I'm always like, oh, it's just got a really nice feel to it. It's like, ever since I was a kid, my auntie used to work for Estee Lauder, so she used to be on the counter, and then across from her, I mean, we're going back to like 80s, across from her there'd be the girl on the Clinique counter, I mean, face full of slap, but they, you know, they have these clinical sort of, almost like, beauty salon things, you know, like their sort of work uniform used to look like ladies wearing a beauty salon. So with like white clinical. So it actually smells like when you go to a Clinique counter. It's very sort of citrusy, but it's just so clean. It's just so clean. This is a really nice scent. So if you remember the ad campaign, it was all orange. Everything was orange with this. So I'm bringing the orange moment in there. But yeah, I'm going to add that lovely bit of pink, and then on the top I shall find a contrasting herb for this one. I might even use some elderflower again because it's quite pretty. But yes, let's get going. Right, I think I'm soaping quite a lot warmer than usual, you know. I'm using my clear bowl today because I'm just going to make the one loaf of this. See how it goes. I've not ever used this fragrance before, so we shall see how it goes. Let's give that a little stick blend. Piece. So, might even be a bit too much in there. Let me have a think. Okay, that'll do. So do one nice globule down the side. Right, so we're going in with orange in this. I'm going to just add a little bit as I go because I want it to be kind of pale. And then while that spoon is still dry, here's that beautiful pink. This is a Red Riot mica from Mica Mama. Look at that. Such a lovely colour. Try a bit of that in there. Okay, let me stick in that orange. It's going to be pretty simple soap to make. Wait for a little while and let that thicken up just a bit more before I start pouring it into the mould. It's still quite fluid and I want it a bit thicker than that, but I don't want to keep hammering it with the stick blender because it just creates too many bubbles with that stick blender that I've got. It's pretty powerful. It's a Kenwood stick blender, a 700 watt, I've had it for years, that one. I'm actually on the market for a new one, but oh, I can't be asked to go and find one right now. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that to set up just a little bit more. It's still pretty fluid. It's probably slightly darker at the moment than I wanted, but I'm sure it will, like most of them do. So another book that I read over the last couple of weeks, well, I actually finished another book. There was, like, I had a few books on my go last year and I never finished one of them. I was just rubbish at reading. But I've got really back into my reading lately. Anyway, another one that I was reading is called This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay, and it's a doctor's account of working for the NHS. And heartbreaking and hilarious at the same time. It's really, really good read. But the end was, yeah, really sad, actually, really sad. And then he left the NHS in the end. I think he's like a comedian now. But that was, yeah, well worth a read. I just finished it just a short while ago. Okay, just going to get this down this side. What's that on the floor then? Use this one instead. I always drop things. When we're at home, it's like I drop that much that now every time I do it, it's just a raised eyebrow now. It's not even like, oh, you know, no shock at all. Because I am that clumsy. It's just become part and parcel of how it is to live with me in a house. I've always been the most clumsy blooming person. You wouldn't think it, would you? Everyone says, oh, she's so together. I read the comments, I see you. And some of them, they're like, so together, she's so together. I'm like, you've got absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea at all, have you, Muriel? Okay, right, I need another spoon. Wait a minute. Okay, right, what I want to do is, oh, frig, is not that. So, are you going to let me lift it? No, it isn't. Right, I'm going to have to wait again because I want this to thicken up so I can bring that side piece in. Crikey. Right out, I want to bring in this over to here, like I did with the other one. Might have left that just a little smidge too long, but it's all right. Get over a bit more. Okay, and through the middle I've chosen some calendula instead, because it's a nice vibrant yellow. Will be even more in keeping with those pastel sort of colours. So just get that stuck in there as best we can without it going over the rest of the set. I just want it in the middle, just in the middle. It's turned out nice. I like this. It's just a sort of you know, like a filler soap really. It's not like a standout amazing soap, it's just nice. And with spring coming, it's just the kind of thing I want to do. I just want to get these sort of shades going. So I've got a few I want to make. So there'll be a few videos like this coming up where I'm sort of using the same type of design, but with different sort of colours, just to match the scent that I'm going to use, you know. Looks like I'm making a Subway sandwich. We like cheese on that. You see how the way they put the cheese on? Sandwich. Okay, I'm going to just do that off camera, just make sure that's all shoved in there as I'd like it to be. And here is the finished top. So lovely colours. I will be back to cut it shortly. Okie doke, I'm back to cut. What's strange is that the top there, it's got turned to like a peach. That was pink. There's like a little blushy pink colour there. I don't know what it's like inside, so we shall have to see. But it's gone like a blush pink. Peach, sorry. That's weird. Yeah, it has gone peachy colour. It's alright, I mean, it still suits the soap, but that's a bit odd, isn't it? It happens. I've known colours to morph before with micas, you never know. But then, check this out, look. Look at the end, pink. Pink! Look at the top, peach. Pink, peach. I'm baffled. Usually it's a reaction with the fragrance, so it's nothing to be worried about. Anyway, let's cut into it and see what we have here. It doesn't smell very strong, I'll give it that. It's quite nice, but it doesn't smell very strong. And if you didn't know what this was, you'd have no idea. It just sort of smells like subtle, very, very subtle. That's, you know, it's good for customers that don't like overpowering scents, I guess. I don't like overpowering scents, but I do like it to smell. Oh, okay, it's peach. Inside. It's nice. I mean, it's nice, you know, I don't mind it, but it was not what I was aiming for at all. Just get my little container so I can get rid of my bits. Okay, I mean, it's not going to be much up to write home about, is it, really? Well, it's lovely on the top. I like it. I really like the contrast of colour. But, yeah, we got raspberry pink and peach rather than raspberry pink and pale pink. Hang on. I'm absolutely off my nut, aren't I? Didn't I use orange for this? I did, didn't I? What an absolute idiot. Right, so it's come out exactly as I wanted it to, but we've got a hint of pink. Let's just start again. Where are you? Oh, Lord. Okay, so we have the colour that we used, and just ignore this this person talking to you right now. My Lord, what on earth is wrong with my brain? I'll tell you what's wrong with my brain. I'm really, really, really tired because, now here goes, story time. This morning, well actually, for the last few days, there's been this sound coming from our next door neighbour's house. And it sounds like water dripping. So I'm freaking out, thinking that it's our house, and I'm thinking, oh no, why is this coming from? I'm thinking there's a leak, you know. Now we've sold our house to Matt's sister, so of course I'm stressing, and I'm thinking, what is it? What's going on? We've got to get something fixed. What is it? But the worst time to hear this is at 4 o'clock in the freaking morning, because what do we do when we lie in bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. We get anxiety. Well, I certainly do. If there's something wrong, it always has to happen in the evening, doesn't it? It always has to happen in the evening when you're not at your best and you're in a mode that if anything disastrous is going to happen, you really don't want to be dealing with it at this time in the morning. Anyway, so I'm hearing this, it's like a tapping noise. And then I'm starting to think that's a leak. That's water tapping and dripping down onto something. So I'm thinking, oh my Lord, our central heating's gone or something. Okay, sorry, now the memory card was full. So I've finished cutting the blooming soap now. But I'm just going to have a little chat because I started my story. Anyway, here's the soap. It looks nice and it looks exactly as I'd planned. But yeah, there is the orange has morphed pink. Anyway, what was happening next door was, I guess, their boiler went off around 8:30 while they left to go to work this morning. And then the dripping stopped, or the tapping stopped. So I am guessing it's their boiler. But trouble with me is I suffer with anxiety when things go a little awry. I really seem to struggle with things that are really out of the ordinary that can just be easily dealt with. And I'm working on myself. So I'm telling myself, lying in the bed, I'm thinking, it's fine, it's not your house, it's not your house, it's not your house, it's not your house. You don't need to worry about this, but you need to just address it and speak to next door and just tell them we can hear something. They need to sort this out. But if you're like me, I got so frustrated that then I had this blinding headache. So back downstairs I go and get tablets, take a couple of tablets to get rid of the headache. My jaw is like this, lying in the bed, and I'm thinking, I've got to get up soon, I've got to get up soon. I hadn't got to get up. Matt was taking the day off. My car was in the garage, and I could just have a chilled morning. We were just going to go for a walk, you know? But my brain was just fried with this tap, 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 incessant tapping. Anyway, when they come home tonight, we're going to have a word with them and just say there's something obviously wrong with your boiler. But they rent the house from somebody that doesn't really give a shit about the house. So we're sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place in a way. But we're going to have a word with them, because if this starts dripping and it makes a difference to our home, because we're in a row of terrace houses, then there's going to be an issue because we sold our house to Matt's sister. Anyway, that's my story. And let's just hope that it gets fixed. But I hate things like this. I really, really hate things like this. It's just like, I know that they're things that are fixable, but it's just another thing to deal with in life, isn't it? Anyway, that's what's going on today. So I'm going to move on to the next soap, and let's just forget about this. I will see you soon. Ta-ta.